When I first moved into Willow Creek, I thought it was going to be a fresh start. A quiet neighborhood, friendly faces, and rows of identical houses that looked like they came straight out of a magazine. Everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. I just adopted Max, a big, gentle golden retriever mix I rescued from the shelter. He'd been through a rough life before I found him. Scars on his paws, a nervous way of wagging his tail, eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. But he was the kindest soul I'd ever met. He loved everyone, kids, neighbors, even the mailman. For the first few weeks, everything was calm. Max and I took morning walks around the neighborhood. He'd stop to sniff every mailbox, wag his tail at passing joggers, and lie in the grass near the pond. People smiled at us, waved, even came to pet him. Then one morning, I found a letter taped to my door, stamped with the familiar, dreadful logo of the HOA. My stomach dropped before I even opened it. Notice of violation, it said. The reason? Non-compliant pet exceeds community size restrictions. I blinked. Size restrictions? For a dog? I read the fine print. According to their rules, no pet over 40 pounds is permitted within the community to ensure safety and uniformity. Max weighed 75. I thought it had to be a mistake. Max wasn't dangerous. He was basically a furry pillow that drooled. I called the HOA office right away. A woman named Carol answered, her voice sharp and overly polite. "Mr. Bennett, the rule is clear," she said. "Your dog exceeds the approved weight limit. You have 30 days to rehome the animal or face fines." I laughed nervously. "Ma'am, Max isn't an animal. He's family. He's never hurt anyone." She sighed. "It's not personal, Mr. Bennett. It's policy." And then she hung up. I sat there on my porch, Max's head resting on my knee, and I felt something inside me break. I looked down at him, those calm eyes looking up at me, and I knew one thing for certain: I wasn't giving him up. At first, I tried reasoning. I gathered signatures from neighbors who knew Max. Dozens signed. Even little Emily from 2 houses down wrote in crayon, "Max is my best friend." I brought the petition to the next HOA meeting, thinking they'd see reason. They didn't. The board sat in a row behind a long table, faces blank, like they were carved out of stone. Carol spoke for them all. "Rules exist to maintain order," she said. "If we make exceptions for one, we must make them for all." I tried explaining again that Max wasn't a threat. "He's calm, trained, friendly," I said. "He's better behaved than half the humans here." A few people chuckled, but Carol didn't. "You have 2 weeks," she said. That night I couldn't sleep. Max lay on the floor next to me, breathing softly, unaware that people wanted him gone just because of his size. And that's when an idea hit me, a crazy one maybe, but one that might just work. If they thought Max didn't belong, I'd prove he did, in a way they couldn't ignore. The next morning, I called a local therapy animal organization. I explained Max's temperament, his patience, how kids loved him. They offered to test him for a therapy dog certification. It wasn't easy: obedience tests, exposure to loud noises, strange environments, but Max passed every one. Within a month, he was officially certified as a therapy dog. I started taking him to local schools, hospitals, and nursing homes. The kids adored him. He'd sit beside them as they read books, nuzzle into their laps, and make them laugh when they needed it most. I began documenting everything: photos, letters from teachers, thank you notes from families. And when the next HOA meeting rolled around, I showed up, this time with a binder full of proof. Carol looked unimpressed. "Mr. Bennett, this is not." I interrupted her gently. "This is relevant. You see, Max is no longer just my pet. He's a certified therapy animal recognized by the state, which means legally he's protected under federal law." The room went silent. She blinked. "Protected?" I nodded. Under the Fair Housing Act and ADA regulations, therapy and emotional support animals are not subject to size or breed restrictions. And if you try to enforce that rule now, that's discrimination. The silence that followed was beautiful. For once, Carol didn't have a comeback. She shuffled her papers and said, "We'll need to review this." I smiled. Take your time. Max and I will be home. Within a week, I received another letter from the HOA, but this one was different. After careful consideration, the board has decided to exempt Mr. Bennett's dog from community restrictions. Translation: they lost. Word spread fast around Willow Creek. Neighbors started stopping by, congratulating me, bringing treats for Max. The local paper even ran a story titled, "The Dog Who Beat the HOA." But what happened next was even better. Max had become somewhat of a neighborhood celebrity. Kids would wait outside after school just to see him. Elderly residents asked if he could visit their homes. He'd trot down the street, tail wagging, spreading joy everywhere he went. One afternoon, I saw Carol standing across the street, watching as a group of kids laughed while Max gently took treats from their hands. She smiled, for the first time since I'd met her, and walked over. "He really is a good dog," she said quietly. I nodded. "Told you so." She sighed. "You know, maybe we've been a little too strict about some of our policies." I grinned. "Maybe just a little." After that, things changed. The HOA updated their pet policy, allowing larger dogs as long as they were registered and trained. And you better believe Max was the reason behind that change. Months later, the neighborhood held its annual block party, the first one in years that actually felt like a community event. Families, food, music, laughter. Max wore a little bandana that said "Neighborhood Hero." Kids took photos with him, parents patted his head, and someone even made a small trophy that read "Goodest Boy in Willow Creek." As the sun set that evening, I sat on my porch, Max lying beside me, watching kids chase fireflies. I thought about how close I'd come to losing him, how a few signatures and a stubborn rulebook had almost broken something pure. But instead, it had done the opposite. It brought people together. It reminded everyone that compassion doesn't fit neatly into regulations or fine print. And every time I saw Max greeting someone new, tail wagging like a metronome of happiness, I realized something important. The best way to fight small-minded rules isn't with anger, it's with kindness, persistence, and a little bit of courage. They tried to ban my dog. Now he's the heart of this neighborhood.